Jean Piaget suggests that new knowledge is constructed from our previous experiences and our active interpretation of the world around us. As open education practitioners, our goal is to move past the idea of students as passive recipients of information. Instead, we aim to provide students with tools and practices to empower their active participation in the creation of knowledge. Imagine the possibilities if students could thoughtfully preserve, build on, and share their assignments instead of what David Wiley dubs the disposable assignment, where work is often forgotten at the end of a course. Moving away from the traditional disposable assignment can happen in many ways. In this video, we will consider one specific form of iterative, scaffolded assignments known as e-portfolios. Electronic or e-portfolios are a purposeful collection of sample student work, demonstrations, and artifacts that showcase students' learning progression, achievements, and evidence of what students can do. Let's take a minute to clear up some common misconceptions of e-portfolios. They are not a random collection of student work haphazardly thrown together in a binder. Instead, they are an instructor-guided strategy for students to cultivate and explore their interests in a given subject. The goal is to end up with a thoughtfully chosen, carefully curated collection of assignments with a variety of functions and benefits. 1. Encouraging students to create and reflect on their own learning. More on that in a moment. 2. Allowing students to submit work that captures multiple dimensions of intelligence and learning. 3. Containing a wide variety of work across different mediums, such as text-based, blogs, videos, graphics, allowing students the opportunity to gain marketable skills in many different digital competencies. And finally, the PATH model for online learning asserts that providing students with a choice in what assignments to choose and how to structure them can increase their agency, ownership, and engagement in the work they submit. So what does this look like in practice? E-portfolios can be as low-tech as simply having students turn in a compilation of documents or links. But if we want to get a little fancier, WordPress is a great tool to take your class's e-portfolios to the next level. In the next part of the video, we will demonstrate one example of how students can use WordPress to compile and organize their own e-portfolios in an introductory psychology course. Components of an e-portfolio may include a cover or landing page to introduce the topics from each assignment, a letter to the reader to briefly summarize the contents of the portfolio, including defining any relevant vocabulary or terminology, a sitemap, very much like a table of contents containing a roadmap of content included in the portfolio, 3 assignments from throughout the semester. For example, Introduction to Psychology courses often cover different topics each week, from social psychology to learning and behavior. You could offer a weekly assignment or prompt asking students to reflect on the content for that week. Then, at the end of the semester, students choose 3 to highlight in their portfolio. Reflections. For each assignment students choose to include, they should write a short reflection containing a description of why they chose to include the assignment in the portfolio, what they liked about the assignment, and how this assignment demonstrated learning. This can also include any realizations they came to or interesting and exciting things that they learned about the topic while completing the assignment, or how they overcame a challenge in completing the assignment. A conclusion. This one-page document should be a self-assessment tool describing what was learned in the larger course. For example, students could discuss their favorite or least favorite part and why or how they would do something differently if they were to redo the project. Finally, they should reflect on whether this project has value outside of the classroom. They could consider whether this assignment helped them gain an understanding of psychology in the real world or helped them become comfortable searching for articles or reading about research in psychology. An APA-style reference section where students list all of the references from their 3 assignments. As usual, we are just providing one example of how you can use WordPress to facilitate the construction of an e-portfolio. You may be wondering how to incorporate e-portfolios into your classroom, so we will end by sharing a few tips for best practice. We also highly recommend the APS Teaching Tips article by Burkett and colleagues, which does an excellent job of discussing some myths and strategies surrounding using e-portfolios in a psychology course. First, keep in mind the versatility of an e-portfolio and consider how they could be used in many different areas of psychology. For example, a lifespan development course could assign a portfolio based on a specific stage or domain of development. An abnormal psychology course could allow students to create a portfolio centered on a specific disorder. Even a statistics course could allow for an in-depth assessment of different statistical techniques. Second, note that students will need to create a WordPress site. We suggest giving students the option to publish either this page or share it privately with just the instructor. This allows students to choose their audience and to protect their privacy. Finally, remember that your students may never have encountered an e-portfolio before, so be sure to lay out the expectations very clearly. We suggest dedicating a section of your course learning management system to providing explanations, rubrics, examples, and other asynchronous support so that students have a built-in resource to help them through the process. In summary, e-portfolios have a variety of benefits that allow us to reconfigure assessment by stepping away from the disposable assignment towards a more sustainable form of student learning and engagement.